probably will die in SHTF if you don't do this. Hey everybody, this is Michael with Asymmetrical Preparedness. What am I talking about? There's so many different things. Oh yeah, you can do this one thing and you'll survive. No, that's not the case. The idea and the premise behind this video, I'll get into in just a sec. But if you like my content, you want to support a prepper channel, you should be, hopefully you guys are out supporting all the prepper channels. Everyone. Growing the community is very important. Subscribing, commenting, helping all the channels. Not just me, not just anybody in specific, but all of them. They all have good things to say. They all approach things from different aspects. They all have different experiences and knowledge points. So to get a broad spectrum, not just a single point of view, because you don't want a single point of view, you want a plethora. Go out there and subscribe to all the channels. Hit that thumbs up, share the videos, comment below, and hit that super thanks. Little heart with a thanks in it. Help out the channel. I'd really appreciate it. This is talking about possession versus proficiency. I see it a lot in the preparedness community. A lot of people, they have all these preps and they think, I'm good. I got a year of food. I got, tools. I got seeds. I got gear. I got all the cool guy things. I have the Cry JPC. I have tier tactical pants. I have, whatever. Cry airframe helmet. Okay? But do you know how to actually use them? I have the best water filter in the world. Have you used it? Do you know how to use it? Do you know the proper applications for the use? Have you thought about things like the use of deadly force? How, if, and when you are going to use it? And when the situation dictates the use of it? Have you ever actually gone out and done any form of training other than sitting on a bench at a flat range going pew, 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 or going to a gravel pit in the mountains and just going buh, 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 buh. Okay, that's fun. Sure, it's fun. But do you actually have a level of proficiency with any of this stuff? I know this may make some people upset and say, well, I got all this stuff and, I don't have time to learn how to use all of it. Well, okay, start with one thing. Start with one thing. I have map and compass. I'm good. It's completely useless unless you know how to use it. These are completely useless unless you know how to use it. If you have one of these and you don't know how to use it properly, you're more of a danger. You're more of a threat. You're not an asset. You're a liability because you'll probably shoot your buddy in the back. Friendly fire because you don't know what you're doing. Are you physically fit to do all these things? Or do you just think, oh, it's, everything's gonna be fine. It's not gonna be that big a deal. I got all this stuff, I may live slightly rural, the people in the cities, all gonna be in the cities. Okay, not true. People in cities will suffer greatly, and probably a lot more than people that live rural. But the strong will survive, right? The weak shall perish and the strong will survive. Then those strong will leave the cities and come for you and your stuff. If you're not prepared and you don't know how to use your stuff, and I'm talking about like these things kind of mainly, but even your plans, your bug out plans, all your other stuff you have laying around. It's good to have stuff, sure, of course. You need food storage, you need preps, you need tools, you need all this stuff. But you also got to get out there and actually use it in all conditions. It doesn't matter if I know how to, use this, for example, when it's nice and sunny and beautiful out like it is right now in a static environment. No, I need to be able to use this properly and effectively in all weather conditions in a dynamic environment because it always changes. Murphy's Law, what can go wrong will go wrong. Do you know how to deal with malfunctions? And I'm just talking about this right now. You can apply these concepts to anything you have. Fire starters, that ferro rod, do you know how to use it? Do you know other methods? Do you have lighters? Do you have canoes? Do you have battery and, some steel wool? Do you even know what kind of steel wool to buy? Because if you go buy that really thick, heavy gauge steel wool and a battery and a 9-volt battery, it won't start a fire. Trust me, it won't. You need the really fine steel wool without all that blue stuff in it, right? The cleaners, because you don't want that. Do you actually have the right stuff? Have you even tried it? Do you know how to do bow and drill? Do you know canoe method? And that's just fire starting. Like I said, it can go on to anything. Foraging. You'd be like, oh, well, we got blackberries here, I'm good. No. Blackberries are only here for a certain part of the year. So you may survive through that part of the year just eating blackberries, but you're not going to survive just on blackberries either. Oh, well, I grew up hunting all my life. Okay, that's fine. How long are the deer going to last? How long are the squirrels and the rabbits and everything else going to last when everybody's out hunting them? Look at the Great Depression. I've talked about this many times before. Deer were almost extinct. Well, you're like, well, they got moose and elk and bear and, antelope, pronghorn, stuff like that, all different varieties. Yeah, and they'll all be gone if this goes into extended event, which I have a feeling it will. Things are getting bad, people. You have to get out and use your stuff. You got to know how to, you got to learn, you got to teach yourself how to use it. Watch YouTube videos. Get a piece of gear. That's great. You need it. Get a piece of gear. Watch a YouTube video about how to use it. Get a book about how to use it. And then go do it. You got to get out and do it. And what people say, oh, well, I don't want to use my gear because I don't want to wear it out or damage it or something like that before I need it. Okay. But if you're talking about damaging it, well, if it's not going to stand the test of time, if it's not going to stand the abuse of normal use, then you don't want it. You want to find those things out now. You want your gear to fail now. Because now your life doesn't depend on it. Now is the time to have your gear fail, to have this fail, to have this break, whatever it may be. Because your life doesn't depend on it. This is the time when you got to figure out all this stuff. Figure out as much as you can. Work with your tribe, your family. Learn different skill sets. Cross-train. Get different ideas flowing. Using the gear. Different people have different gear. So have everybody say like water filter training. Okay, cool. Everybody bring all their different water filters. And then try them out. Talk about them. Pluses and minuses. Technical specifications. All that stuff. How do they work? What are they good for? Are they good for heavy metals? Or are they only good for, bacteria and sediment? What about pre-filters? You know where I'm going with this? There's a lot to it. You can't just go down and you can't just print up a map, grab a compass that, one of those little round cap style compasses and then go do land navigation. I mean, technically you can. If you know what you're doing, you can. But if you don't know what you're doing, this can be very difficult. Plotting courses and everything like that, shooting bearings with it. Yeah, you need the right gear, but you also need to know how to use it. So think about these things. Actually get out and do. I know a lot of people watch these videos for entertainment purposes only, which is fine. You do you, like I said. But please, I'm begging you to take this seriously. I want you guys to survive. I care about you guys. That's why I'm here. I'm not here to make money. I make a little tiny bit of money here. Yeah. Some of the larger channels, sure, yeah, they make good income. Good for them. Happy for them. It's awesome. They turn this into a business. That's amazing. I fully support that. That's so cool. But it's not about that. It's about empowering and uplifting others and getting more people into the asset column versus the liability column by having the proper things, knowing how to use them, becoming very proficient with them, and in general, just getting ready. A lot of it comes from here. You got to have the proper mindset. You got to have the mindset of never give up, never say die. You have to push through. You need to embrace the suck. And to throw in another good military term for you, other than embrace the suck, and I already talked about Murphy's Law, semper gumbi, which is always flexible in Latin. You need to be flexible. You need to be able to adapt to an ever-changing environment because we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know where it's going to happen, how it's going to happen, what's going to go down, what everything's going to look like, who's going to live, who's not going to live, how many threats are coming your way, etc. How long it's going to last. Yeah, we don't know that. We don't know. Are we going to have a grid or not? Is our water going to be available? Is it going to be contaminated, etc.? There's a lot to think about. But big peace of mind. Have the stuff, yes, but get out and use it. Build that proficiency. Don't just stockpile stuff. Use it. Use it now. Wear it out now. Break it now, so you have a chance to replace it with better stuff that works properly for when your life depends on it. I love you guys. Have a wonderful day, and blessings to you and yours.